Hello, welcome back to Senul on Space. Since this is the most wonderful time of the year, that is Christmas, I have planned to say something new to you. That is about the origin of the universe. First of all, we go back 13.8 billion years ago. At this time, the universe was extremely small and hot. And exactly at that moment, the Big Bang occurred. Can you guess what is the Big Bang? Well, that is actually some kind of explosion. But unlike other explosions, it was invisible because at that time, there was no light, and in a very short time it became half the size as it is today, and it was a sea of particles known as quarks. So these quarks grouped into protons and neutrons, and this is known as nucleosynthesis. About 300,000 years, the universe was filled with protons and neutrons until it became the temperature was good for atoms to form. So every proton captured an electron and it formed an atom. After that, there were the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages were a period which various forms of matter have come into existence. During this period, the first atoms formed. Those are atoms of hydrogen, and they were the lightest atoms in the entire universe. So, these hydrogen were slowly grouping into huge groups, and under their own force of gravity, they collapsed into the first stars. These first stars suddenly gave the light to the entire universe, and the universe was very lively. About 4.5 billion years ago, our sun formed, and the remains from the sun could have created the planets of the solar system. Now, Earth formed when lots of clumps of rock, known as planetesimals, grouped together. And actually, Earth was a sphere of rock until it was hit by icy comets and asteroids from the outer solar system. And these could have formed the seas. But there were much larger collisions. And the biggest of them all was when a Mars-sized object crashed into Earth. This made Earth extremely hot that some of its material was lifted off, and these material grouped to form the moon. Back on Earth, single-celled organisms were living. They lived for about 3.5 billion years, more years than the other animals have existed. But suddenly, they evolved into other creatures. First, multicellular beings, then the simplest forms like amoeba, and then fish and reptiles. And some time was passed and mammals came into existence. This is known as the Paleozoic era. After the Paleozoic era, there was the Mesozoic era. In this era, the dinosaurs have come to exist. They lived for 165 million years, longer than the lifetime of humanity. But unfortunately, these poor dinosaurs were killed by an asteroid hitting Earth, and this asteroid is believed to hit the Earth at the Gulf of Mexico. So after the fall of the dinosaurs, there came the Cenozoic era. During this era, the ancient ancestors of mankind began to evolve into other species like Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and Homo neanderthal. About 2000 years ago, the modern humans came into existence. Their scientific name is Homo sapiens sapiens. They soon began to build their own houses and learned to do various things, like to communicate with others, use tools, do farming, and build temples for their gods. After that, many wondrous and disastrous things were happening. After all these things, the Common Era began, in which we live in now. It started from AD 1. Many things were also happening in this Common Era. Like in the 14th century of this Common Era, Christopher Columbus discovered America. About 300 years before us, there came the Industrial Revolution, in which humans used many kinds of machines and built many things like factories and vehicles for them to travel. After that, in the 20th century, the worst wars were occurred. Those are World War I and World War II. After that, something called the space race began. It is when the Soviet Union and the USA tried to compete each other by sending more missions by scoring firsts. The Soviet Union and the USA scored many firsts. The Soviet Union was the first country to send the first human to space, who is Yuri Gagarin, and the first woman to space, who is Valentina Tereshkova. And the USA was the first country to send people to the moon. Like that, they scored many special things. And now we live in the 21st century, in which we try to discover more about the universe and space. However, all of this information have been collected by lots of scientists and people. There you have it, everyone, the known things of the past of the universe. Thank you for listening to my video. I will definitely come up with another new video very soon. So for now, bye bye.